Here's the cold, hard truth. If you want respect, you have to earn it. Respect doesn't come from trying to impress others, controlling their opinions, or bending over backward to gain approval. It comes from within, from how you carry yourself, how you act when no one's looking, and how you deal with life's challenges. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect starts with self-respect, and it's rooted in your character, not in how others perceive you. I've seen countless people, myself included, chasing validation and bending to the expectations of others, thinking that's the path to respect. But here's the reality. The more you try to please everyone, the less respect you command. That's where Stoicism steps in. The ancient Stoics were masters of self-discipline, wisdom, and understanding the true meaning of respect. They didn't chase it, they embodied it, and people naturally followed. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 6 powerful Stoic lessons that will teach you how to command respect in your everyday life. These aren't quick-fix tricks or superficial advice. These are fundamental shifts in your mindset that, when applied, will not only help you earn the respect of others, but also build unshakable self-respect. So, if you're ready to stop doing the things that are sabotaging your chances of being respected and start living a life that demands respect, let's dive in. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll see respect in a whole new light. Lesson 1. Stop seeking validation from others. One of the quickest ways to lose respect, both from others and yourself, is to constantly seek validation. When you base your worth on the opinions of others, you're essentially giving them control over how you feel about yourself. Stoicism teaches us that external validation is fleeting and unreliable. The only opinion that should truly matter is your own, grounded in your personal values and principles. I used to fall into this trap myself. Whether it was at work or in my personal life, I'd constantly look for approval. I wanted people to see me as successful, intelligent, and likable. But the more I sought their validation, the less I felt grounded in who I actually was. It was exhausting, and no matter how much approval I received, it never felt like enough. I was stuck in a cycle of needing more praise, more recognition, more acceptance. The Stoics believed that this kind of behavior is not only destructive, but entirely unnecessary. As Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The same applies to how people perceive you. Their opinions are their own, and often based on factors you can't control. You'll never be able to please everyone, and trying to do so will only lead to frustration and a lack of self-respect. When you stop chasing validation and focus instead on acting according to your values, something incredible happens. You start to respect yourself more, and in turn, others begin to respect you. Why? Because people respect confidence and authenticity. They respect someone who stands firm in their beliefs and doesn't waver based on public opinion. Instead of seeking approval, the Stoics teach us to focus on doing what is right, not what is popular. By aligning your actions with your own values, you create a foundation of respect that no one else's opinion can shake. Lesson 2. Stop letting emotions control you. Nothing undermines respect faster than someone who's constantly reactive and driven by their emotions. Think about it. Who do you respect more? Someone who keeps their cool under pressure, or someone who flies off the handle at the slightest provocation? Stoicism teaches the importance of emotional control, and this lesson is crucial for anyone seeking respect. Emotions are powerful, and we all feel them deeply. Anger, frustration, sadness, they're natural human responses. But here's the thing. While it's okay to feel emotions, it's not okay to let them dictate your actions. The Stoics believed that emotions, when unchecked, can cloud our judgment and lead to poor decisions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most respected Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In my own experience, learning to control my emotions was a game changer. I used to get worked up easily, especially when things didn't go my way. I'd lash out, defend myself aggressively, or shut down completely. But all this did was make me look erratic and unreliable. It wasn't until I embraced Stoic teachings that I realized how much power lies in maintaining calmness in the face of adversity. The key is not to suppress your emotions, but to master them. When you feel a strong emotion bubbling up, take a moment to pause and reflect on whether the situation truly warrants that level of reaction. Often, you'll find that it doesn't. Instead of letting your emotions control you, Stoicism teaches us to respond with logic and reason. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings, but you don't allow them to dictate your behavior. When you practice emotional control, you not only gain respect from others, but also strengthen your self-respect. People are naturally drawn to those who can stay calm and composed under pressure. It shows maturity, strength, and leadership. By mastering your emotions, you demonstrate that you're in control of your actions, and that's something others will respect deeply. Lesson 3. Stop avoiding difficult conversations. One of the biggest mistakes you can make when seeking respect is avoiding difficult conversations. It's human nature to shy away from confrontation, especially when emotions are involved. But the truth is, avoiding conflict or uncomfortable discussions does more harm than good. When you sidestep these important moments, you lose the opportunity to address the root cause of an issue, and more importantly, you lose the respect of those around you. Stoicism teaches that courage is one of the greatest virtues, and part of that courage is facing challenges head-on, even when they're uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the very thing we're avoiding is often the thing that will lead to growth and resolution. By confronting difficult conversations, you show others that you're willing to tackle problems directly rather than allowing them to fester beneath the surface. I used to be someone who avoided conflict at all costs. If a friend or colleague upset me, I would let it slide, thinking it would make things easier. But the problem with this approach is that resentment builds up, and unresolved issues don't just go away. Instead, they grow. Avoiding difficult conversations leads to misunderstandings, loss of respect, and even broken relationships. Facing these moments doesn't mean being aggressive or confrontational. It means being assertive, honest, and respectful. Approach the conversation with a calm mind, focus on the issue at hand, and express your thoughts clearly. When you tackle a tough conversation head-on, you not only earn the respect of the other person, but you also reinforce your self-respect. You demonstrate that you're not afraid to stand up for yourself or your values, even when it's uncomfortable. Difficult conversations are often the path to deeper understanding and stronger relationships. The next time you're tempted to avoid addressing an issue, remember the Stoic lesson: courage lies in action, not avoidance. Have the hard conversation. You'll gain more respect for it. Lesson 4. Stop making excuses. Nothing erodes respect faster than making excuses for your behavior, failures, or lack of action. When you constantly blame external circumstances for your shortcomings, you not only undermine your credibility, but also show a lack of personal accountability. Stoicism is rooted in the idea that we are responsible for our own actions and reactions. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This Stoic wisdom emphasizes that making excuses only weakens your position. Instead of taking ownership of a mistake or a situation, you're shifting responsibility, which signals to others that you're unreliable or unwilling to grow. I'll be the first to admit that I used to be an expert at making excuses. When something didn't go right at work, I would blame external factors, the weather, a co-worker, or lack of time. If I missed a personal goal, I'd find any reason to avoid acknowledging my own role in the failure. But over time, I realized that this behavior didn't help me improve or gain the respect of others. In fact, it had the opposite effect. People began to see me as someone who couldn't be counted on, and I started losing confidence in myself as well. Taking full responsibility for your actions, whether they lead to success or failure, is a hallmark of self-respect and integrity. People respect those who own their mistakes, learn from them, and strive to do better. When you stop making excuses, you show others that you're accountable and trustworthy. You demonstrate that you're in control of your life, and that's something that commands respect. The next time you're tempted to make an excuse, pause and ask yourself if you could have done something differently. Take responsibility, even if it's uncomfortable. Own your part in the situation and commit to doing better in the future. This level of honesty and accountability will not only boost your self-respect, but will also earn the respect of those around you. Lesson 5. Stop seeking external validation. One of the most dangerous habits you can develop is constantly seeking approval from others. When your sense of self-worth is tied to external validation, you relinquish control over your happiness and self-respect. In the pursuit of respect, many people mistakenly believe that pleasing others or gaining their approval will result in admiration. However, Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite. True respect comes from within, and external validation is fleeting. When you rely on others for validation, you give away your power. You're at the mercy of their opinions, and this dependence can lead to anxiety, frustration, and disappointment. The Stoics understood that external validation is not only unreliable, but also distracting. It pulls you away from your core values and purpose. I've been there, constantly seeking affirmation from friends, colleagues, or even strangers. I used to think that if I received praise or recognition, it would validate my worth. But the truth is, the more I sought approval, the more hollow it felt. I realized I was basing my self-worth on someone else's opinion rather than my own principles and beliefs. The key is to cultivate a sense of self-worth that is independent of others' opinions. This requires self-reflection and aligning your actions with your values. What do you stand for? What principles guide your life? When you are grounded in your values, you naturally command respect from others because they can see your authenticity and strength. Instead of seeking validation, focus on living your life according to your principles. When you embody the values you hold dear, respect becomes a natural byproduct. People are drawn to those who are confident in themselves and their choices. They respect individuals who know who they are and act accordingly, regardless of external opinions. By making a conscious effort to let go of the need for external validation, you'll find a newfound sense of self-respect and confidence. You'll stop seeking approval and start living authentically, which is where true respect is born. Lesson 6. Stop comparing yourself to others. In today's social media-driven world, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. We see curated snapshots of people's lives and achievements, and it's natural to feel inadequate in comparison. However, this habit is incredibly damaging to your self-respect and the respect you command from others. Stoicism teaches that each person is unique, and comparison is not only futile, but also counterproductive. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you compare yourself to others, you're allowing outside events to dictate how you feel about yourself. Instead of focusing on your own journey and progress, you're constantly measuring yourself against others, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. I remember scrolling through social media and feeling envy towards others who seemed to have it all together. It was a toxic cycle. The more I compared, the worse I felt about myself. I began to lose sight of my own achievements and growth. It wasn't until I embraced Stoic principles that I realized how counterproductive this behavior was. The Stoics encourage us to focus on our own path and progress. Instead of comparing yourself to others, recognize that everyone is on a unique journey, facing their own challenges and victories. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. When you shift your mindset away from comparison, you cultivate self-respect and confidence. People naturally respect those who are secure in their identity and who focus on personal growth rather than competition. Instead of measuring your worth against others, focus on your values, goals, and progress. This will not only enhance your self-respect, but also earn you the respect of others who see your commitment to self-improvement.